Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a debate that has sparked controversy, curiosity, and even conflict for centuries: creation versus evolution. How did life on Earth come to be? Was it designed in an instant by a higher power, or did it evolve through natural processes over millions of years? It's a question that touches on science, religion, and philosophy, and we're about to explore both sides of the argument. Stick around, because this is a journey that could change the way you think about the world. Let's be clear, whether you're someone who believes in creationism, the idea that life was created by a divine being, or you lean toward evolution, the theory that life evolved over millions of years through natural selection, you've probably asked yourself, which one is true? Which theory makes more sense when we look at the evidence, and how does each one explain the complexities of life around us? Is the world as we see it really the result of intelligent design, or did life gradually change over time through a series of random yet incredibly precise processes? It's a question that continues to challenge scientists, theologians, and philosophers alike, and it's one that we're diving deep into today. So, let's explore both sides, look at the evidence, and see if we can make sense of how life on Earth came to be. Now let's start with the call to adventure. This debate really heats up in the 19th century with the work of Charles Darwin. Darwin wasn't the first to think about how life could change over time, but his book On the Origin of Species truly set the scientific world ablaze. Darwin proposed a radical idea: evolution by natural selection. In essence, he argued that species evolve over time through gradual changes. These changes are driven by the environment, and individuals with traits that help them survive are more likely to pass those traits on to future generations. Over millions of years, these small changes accumulate, leading to the emergence of new species. Darwin didn't just come to this conclusion out of nowhere. He observed and documented the way species adapted to their environments. For example, on the Galapagos Islands, he noticed that finches with different beak shapes were suited to different types of food sources. Over time, these small differences accumulated, leading to the rise of different species with unique traits. This idea of evolution by natural selection changed everything. But not everyone was on board. For centuries, the dominant view of the origins of life was tied to creationism, the belief that life on Earth was created by a divine being in its current form. This view is grounded in sacred texts like the Bible and the Quran, which describe the creation of the world as a divine act. For creationists, life is not an accident. It's part of a grand design by a higher power. As Darwin's ideas gained traction, they sparked a clash between science and religion, which eventually led to debates like the Scopes trial of 1925. In that trial, a teacher in Tennessee was put on trial for teaching evolution in public schools. A case that highlighted the tension between those who believed in creation and those who embraced evolution. Now let's dig deeper into the crisis: the evidence. Evolution has become the cornerstone of modern biology. From fossil records to genetics, the evidence is clear that life on Earth has evolved over billions of years. Fossils are one of the most compelling pieces of evidence. By studying layers of rock and fossilized remains, scientists can trace the evolution of species over millions of years. One of the most iconic fossils is Archaeopteryx, a creature that shows the transition between dinosaurs and birds. This transitional fossil is just one example of how life changed gradually over time. Then there's genetics. By studying the DNA of all living organisms, scientists have found that we share a significant amount of our genetic code with other species. For example, humans share 98% of their DNA with chimpanzees, suggesting a common ancestor millions of years ago. The genetic similarities between species reinforce the idea that we all evolved from a shared origin. But creationists have their counterpoints. They argue that some features of life are too complex to have come about through random mutations and natural processes. Take the human eye, for example. Creationists often point to the eye's intricate design, its ability to focus, adjust to light and process images, and claim it's evidence of a divine designer. Creationists also argue that the universe and life's conditions are so fine-tuned for life that it seems impossible for it all to have happened by chance. Earth's perfect distance from the sun, the balance of gases in the atmosphere, and the delicate nature of ecosystems are all seen as signs that a higher power must have played a role in the creation of life. So what's the result of all this evidence? Is there a clear winner between creationism and evolution? Well, the answer isn't so straightforward. Many people find ways to reconcile the two. For instance, theistic evolution suggests that evolution could be the method God used to create life. In this view, God guides the process of natural selection, allowing life to evolve over time. The beauty of this perspective is that it doesn't force people to choose between science and religion. It allows both the idea of divine creation and the scientific evidence for evolution to coexist. For many, this approach allows them to embrace both their faith and the science that explains how life on Earth came to be. And for science, the evidence for evolution pushes us to think about the complexity of life in ways that are incredibly profound. We're learning more every day about how life evolved from simple molecules to the stunning diversity of organisms we see today. So, where does that leave us in our ordinary world? Whether you lean toward evolution, creationism, or even a combination of both, these ideas force us to question our place in the universe. They make us wonder how we came to be and what that says about the purpose of life itself. At the end of the day, this debate is about understanding our origins and making sense of the world around us. We may never have all the answers, but exploring these big questions helps us grow, both as individuals and as a society. So what do you think? Did evolution explain everything about life's origins, or do you believe creationism is a better explanation? Or maybe you think both can be true. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this exploration of one of the greatest debates in history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to join our community of explorers. Let's keep the conversation going. Whether you're exploring the world of science, faith, or both, the journey to understand the origins of life is one that challenges us to think deeply about who we are and where we come from. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to continue this adventure with you next time as we explore even more of life's greatest mysteries.